National Championship Head Coaches News Conference. We are joined by LSU Head Coach Ed Ogeron and Clemson Head Coach Dabo Sweeney. Coach Ogeron will start with opening remarks from you.
Yeah, what a great experience we've had. What a great journey for this football team. I want to congratulate Coach Sweeney on his outstanding achievements so far that he's done as a coaching career. I think he's a model for other coaches that have been interim coaches that had success. He's a friend of mine. I have a lot of respect for him. I have a lot of respect for his football team. I want to thank the playoff system for having us here at the championship game. The audience has been great. It'll be a great game.
Coach Sweeney, when you're ready.
Okay, yes, appreciate all y'all being here this morning. It's been a wonderful experience for our guys. Super proud of our team, and just appreciative of all the hard work that's gone in and making this a great experience for our players. And New Orleans has been great. Looking forward to an awesome game tomorrow. Really amazing season that LSU has had. Coach O, the job that he's done, his staff, just incredible. This is the way it should be. Two great teams that have worked extremely hard to get to this point, and to be able to have it culminate tomorrow night in the whole country, and probably a lot of people across the world to watch a great college football game. It's an awesome thing. It's a blessing to be a part of it.
We'll now start our Q&A portion. Again, raise your hand, let us get you the mic. Please do give us your name and affiliation. We're going to start first right here on the right side of the
Jacques Newsday, WAFB-TV in Baton Rouge. Coach Ogeron, your team throughout the year, no matter the quote-unquote big game, there never seems to be any nerves or nervousness. When you go into a game like this, how are you approaching the psychology of, it's easy to say it's another game, but you're in a national championship.
Yeah, we didn't talk about going to play for the national championship. We talked about we have to prepare to beat Clemson one game at a time, just like we've done. We have trusted the process. Today is Focus Friday. The guys are getting excited. They are getting antsy. I can feel it. I'm getting antsy too. But I think that we have to continue to work up through game time. They're going to make plays. We're going to make plays. We have to work for 60 minutes and focus on winning the game and not worry about all the other stuff. Block out the noise just like we did all year.
Going to come over here to our right.
Andrea Adelson with ESPN.com for Dabo. You've been asked a lot about the last decade of Clemson football. If there was one word you could use to describe it, what would it be and why?
The last decade? Transformative. Is that a word? We've transformed Clemson. And the next decade is the Roaring 20s. So I'm excited. I heard those were great. So hopefully we can relive those.
Come over here on our left side in the middle.
For Dabo, possibly winning 30 straight games, that's only happened 6 times since the 50s. 3 out of 4 championships only happened 3 times, I think. Back-to-back national championships, undefeated, hasn't happened since Nebraska in the 90s. Do you give any of this information to your team to sort of say, hey, listen, you have a chance to not just be champions, but to be all-time great champions?
Well, I mean, this is 2020. I don't have to give them anything. Just get woken up in the middle of the night with breaking alerts. It's just the information is overloaded into their world, today. So I don't have to give them anything. They see it, they hear it. It's a constant. They know. Certainly, we reinforce from time to time, what their opportunity is. But it's not like we're giving them anything they don't know. They know. They're very well aware of what they've been able to achieve. Regardless of what happens in the game tomorrow night, it's really been a historic run, and to win 2 out of the last 3 national championships is amazing, and I'm just super proud of all of our teams that have worked so hard to just be the best they can be. And that's really our goal. That's it. Sometimes you get beat, and our goal is to be the best we can be every single year. And you know, winning a national championship is a byproduct of that commitment. And so just thankful for all of our teams. They're well aware of all the opportunity and all that stuff, but that's really not the focus. I think when you focus on that, you're focusing on the magnitude of the moment, and you lose the joy of the moment. That's all we try to focus on. Just being great where our feet are, and you know, just have some fun doing what we do to get ready.
Go over here to our right in the middle section, halfway back.
So both of you, similar question, Coach O, you've had a lot of reaction to your accent over the years, and also the players have impersonations and things like that. How important is the accent to you and what it represents? And Coach Swinney, I know that you present a certain way publicly. Your players say you're the exact same guy to them. How important is that authenticity to you?
You know, being Cajun, I'm very proud of being Cajun. My grandparents didn't speak English, and my mother and father spoke Cajun French at the table, and they wanted to talk about when they spoke Cajun French, so I learned Cajun French. And so I'm excited to be at LSU, at home, where we're proud of our Cajun heritage, we're proud of Louisiana. I just feel at home here. People that made fun of my accent before, I thank them. That gave me internal motivation to do better. So I thank them to be motivators in my career.
Coach Sweeney?
Well, I mean, it's ironic. I obviously grew up in Alabama, and sometimes meet people along the way, and they say, well, where do you get a name like Dabo? And so sometimes I just didn't want to tell. I just say, well, I'm Cajun, D-A-B-E-A-U-X, Dabo. And I just, going about my business. So I kind of feel at home here too. But anyway, I just think that you just got to be who you are. Somebody asked me a question yesterday. They said, when they were talking about Coach O and myself about, I guess how we handle ourselves or something. And I just, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to beat somebody else. All I know how to do is beat myself. And if that's not good enough, it's not good enough. So I'm not really trying to be someone else. I just think you have to just be genuine and be transparent. And if you just speak the truth, you don't have to remember what you say, and speak from the heart. And sometimes people don't like that, but at least you know it's the truth to you. So that's all that matters. And just, I think, again, just being genuine in everything that you do. And man, that's what I love about Coach O. And have for a long time, not just since he's been at LSU. I mean, he's one of the most genuine, passionate people that you see in this business. And it resonates, with his players. And so that's why he's been so successful.
Come back over here to our left, right in the middle.
Hey, Dabo, Will Vanderbilt, Clemson Insider. I want to ask you two questions. First, what's the status of Niles Bigney? And then second, I also want to ask you about Brad yesterday and what were you doing? Were you watching the game? And what did you say to Coach Brownell after their big win yesterday?
Yeah, Niles is we're hopeful, but he's if he plays, he'll be limited. Still battling an ankle. So, but Brad, I actually got to see the overtime part. So I didn't see anything up until that. And so I saw the best part. It was awesome. It was amazing. I mean, that's an amazing streak. And then I was with Dan Radakovich shortly after that, so it was pretty cool. But really just happy for Brad and his whole team. I texted Amir Sims right away and text back and forth with him last night. I'm super proud of those guys. I mean, to be able to accomplish something that nobody's done. We're talking about 59 years, man. You'd think sooner or later somebody, somewhere along the way you went and won. But it was pretty amazing. A long time coming, obviously, over 90 years, I guess. So special moment for Coach B and his team and for Clemson.
Stay in the same area, right over here to our left.
Coach, over to your left. Trevor Groves, UTires.com. I understand that you had to move practice to the Hilton Ballroom yesterday because of the weather while LSU was in the Palatial Saints indoor facility. Just curious how that affected your preparation and we had any sort of a walkthrough today.
Yeah, we might have had the best practice we've had all year. And we had the same opportunity to go to the Palatial Saints facility. It's not like, you know, it's just crazy how people put these narratives out there right away. We had the same exact opportunity to go there, but we were going to have to change our schedule and just didn't want to do that. And obviously the weather was nasty, so it was great. I mean, it's massive, and it was a Thursday practice for us, and our Thursday practices are kind of jog through anyway, and this was practice 9, day 10 in a row that we've been together, so it was even lighter than that, but it was a lot of fun. It was great energy. I mean, listen, both these teams are ready to play. I mean, you can only practice so much. So it was a great practice. It was a great day, and thankful that we had a really good facility. Again, we could have done the same exact thing. I just chose not to change our schedule up and stay on course. It's great.
We're going to go right here in the center, in the back.
This one's for Coach O, Michael Collins, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. Coach, we've marveled a lot about Joe's preparation, his thoroughness in that preparation. Have you ever been around a college player who really doesn't want to partake in any of the college scene? And has that rubbed off on the guys that have been around him?
I've never been around a player like Joe. Again, obviously he's very talented and he's leader, but day in and day out, he's the same guy. Very focused, folk-centered, task in hand. It's about execution and winning and being great. And last game, he threw 8 touchdowns, but he wasn't satisfied. I mean, that's him. We go out to practice and I'll ask him, how's it going? I go to pass rush and I'll come to 7-on-7, how's it going, Joe? Rarely doesn't tell me everything's fine. And the guy's a perfectionist. It does rub off on our football team. He's an outstanding leader.
We're going to go in the back on the television riser.
Coach O, Andrew played KATC in Lafayette. A lot of these kids obviously on your team wanted to play in the Superdome in high school, but even Grant Belbin said a really great story about how he moved away after Katrina. Do you find that the players are taking this game more personally because of the city it's in?
I do believe that. I do believe, obviously, there's a lot of things that you can look at in this game for motivation. The only motivation that we use is to finish strong and focus on winning the game. But those external motivations are there. These guys have always wanted to play at the Dome. Grant is from New Orleans. His family was displaced in Katrina. All his family will be there. It will be 4 top guys that we're playing here in New Orleans for the championship, no question.
Come right down here in the front, over on slightly to our right.
This was for Ed Ogeron, Brooks Sabina from The Advocate. Ed, 2 questions. One, could you update us on where Damian Lewis is at for you guys? And the other, last night at Danny Robinson, your mentor Brian Kennedy mentioned him. What kind of moment did y'all have and things that he might have said to you then?
Yeah, well, David Merkley, Jack Marucci and Tommy, for those guys, Shirley, everybody down there, they do a tremendous job. I've never been around a training staff that gets guys back so fast. Last night, I accepted an award on behalf of our staff, and it was very prestigious, so I want to thank the Ed Robinson family. I think it was really held in a first-class manner, very an honor to meet all those people, to meet his family. Brian Kennedy, who was a mentor of mine in Los Angeles, California, for I think 2 years straight. I called him at 6 o'clock every morning, and he answered the phone every morning, and he helped me out in my personal life. So I wanted him to be here yesterday to put out an event, and he's a lifelong friend.
We're going to go all the way back in the back on our left.
This is for both Coach and Dennis about CBS Sports, for both you guys. How do you define a dynasty in college football, and what's the earliest one you guys remember?
A dynasty, I guess a team that wins a lot. The only thing I can think of, the first one, shoot, dynasty. I mean, for me personally, I think about Coach Bryant. I can't help but think about Coach Bryant. Growing up in Alabama, and what he did in the '60s and the '70s, winning numerous national championships. And there's some debate. Probably could have won some more. I guess back in those days, you just kind of voted on them. I think some of those years you voted on bowl games. But anyway. I mean, certainly Alabama and what Coach Saban has done, and just, I guess the definition is just doing something over and over and over, with an unbelievable consistency. Think about John Wooden. I know that's not football, but did he win 10 championships in a row? Think about the Bulls. So I don't know about all the football dynasties. I don't think there's been many. It's just so hard to win consistently for a long period of time. Bobby Bowden, Florida State, they had 14 10-plus win seasons in a row. Probably Oklahoma had a run there. They were pretty unstoppable. So kind of what pops into my head.
Yeah, those are things for you guys to write about. My mind can't even think about that right now. I've been a football fan, but I'm on Focus Friday, man. That's all I know.
We're going to go back to the riser in the back on our left.
Shakira Martin with News 15 out of Lafayette. Coach O, one could argue and say that your offense hasn't faced a team as dominant that Clemson presents. What part in the past success has made you guys ready for this exact moment of tomorrow?
Well, first of all, Brent Venables, I have a lot of respect for him. You watch their tape, they're in the right place at the right time. He knows how to attack protections. They use that number 11 in great spots. You gotta know where he's at all the time. But the team that we play some pretty good defenses, and our guys have done a good job. Obviously, with our offense, we have seen new defenses that we haven't practiced against, sometimes we've seen the same defense. I think this game is going to come down to adjustments made during the game. Obviously, Clemson's had a lot of time to practice. We've had a lot of time to practice. Sometimes people put in something new, sometimes they don't. They may run the same stuff. We watched every play they run, but they watched every play we run. So we're going to be prepared. But I think when it comes down to coaches making the proper calls, I think what we have an advantage of with this year, and more than any other team I've been with, that Joe can execute those plays, and we put playmakers in space and let them play.
Right down here, the center aisle in the back.
Gene Sapp, the Charleston Post and Courier. Dabo, this is the last ride for Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott as co-OCs. What have they meant to you since you were their position coach up until now?
Oh, they're great. I mean, I've been at Clemson 17 years, so they've been with me really the whole way. Tony played for me. Was a GA for me, or not a GA, but a captain for me. Jeff, when I came to Clemson, it was his senior year. He just finished, and then so I kind of tutored and mentored him in his first few years as he was getting into the business, and then he became a GA. And then when he was a GA, when I was named interim, and so I promoted him right away. And that was just really based on my experience that I've had with him working with me in camps. When I was an assistant, I ran the camps and clinics and coaching stuff, whatever went on within the program from a logistics standpoint. And I would use all the GAs and stuff, but Jeff was just always an above and beyond guy. Always knew if I ever got a job, he'd be one of the first guys I hired. So it just kind of worked out. So those guys have been with me from day one, and not just them, Brad Scott. Brad was the offensive coordinator when I came to Clemson. I'm not at Clemson if it wasn't for Brad. Obviously, Tommy brought me in to interview me, but Brad had to sign off and as the OC, and I've been with Brad for 17 years, every step of the way. So those guys have been great. Tony and Jeff, it's been fun to watch them grow and develop, And then back in 2014, when we had an opening, I was able to just promote the two of them. They both deserved it. And so that's why I made them co-OCs, and they've done an amazing job, obviously, since that time. So I'm excited for Tony to be able to, take it over just himself, and it'll be awesome for him. And also a little more responsibility for Streeter, and then obviously Jeff getting this great opportunity in South Florida. Really happy for him.
We're going to slide over to the other side of the middle column.
Coach Sweeney, when you played LSU in the Chick-fil-A Bowl back in 2012, Brent Venables, your defensive coordinator, joked that the trick play for LSU was a play-action pass. Can you talk about just how much LSU has changed offensively since then? Take some humor in that.
Yeah, well, if I remember correctly, they threw 2 passes on that last series. So they came out of the gate, first down, completed it, and then they had back-to-back play actions. And incomplete on one, and we batted one down. And that gave us a chance because I was able to save timeouts. It gave us a chance to get the ball back and go win the game. So ironic to bring that up. But, listen, what I remember about that team is that's as talented a team, especially defensively, that I've ever been around. I think the entire 2 deep and maybe even into the 3 deep went to the NFL. We were very fortunate to win that game, and we just made just enough plays. Our best player got hurt in the second game, but what they're doing offensively now is obviously way different. They were a physical football team, and they still are. But yet now they're distributing the ball to so many different guys. Everybody touches the ball. And it's made them fun, it's made them exciting. You can see they play with great confidence and energy. And then this quarterback is special.
Go back over to the center.
Coach O, I've heard Clemson's answers about the long delay until you play. I was just curious, I hadn't heard your thoughts. Is this the right amount of time for this game? Do you feel the preparation was needed?
For us, we needed the rest. And we give our guys ample rest. We practiced 4 days, we gave them 3 days off. Then we went to a regular game week planning, so I think it's been good. It seems like right now, everybody's getting no answer to play. Those things, sometimes you got to trust to whatever they tell you to do, so we don't blink. They tell us it's 16 days, 16 tells us 7 to 7, we just go.
Go down here, right here, very front.
This is for Coach Terrell Wall of Boone Sports. Can you touch on the importance of Michael Bennett's return to the defense and also Miles Brennan's status for the ball game?
Yeah. Mike is good enough in especially in pass rush situations. Now, there's sometimes a certain situation he can be on the field the first down. It all depends what personnel we get. But Mike is a very good player, a very good pass rusher. He brings energy to the football team. I want to give Mike credit for sticking with it. He had to take a couple of games off. He had the opportunity. He could have left and get ready for the NFL. He didn't. He practiced with the team every day. He did the thing he's supposed to, and now he's played in the championship game. Mount Vernon is fine, ready to go.
Come right down here on our right, third row.
Ed Wilson, Alexander from The Advocate. Christian Fulton really gets talked about this season. A lot of the focus gets put on Derek Stingley. Is that in some ways a compliment to the way Christian has played this season?
Yes, I do believe. They watch film, they look at tape, and they have great receivers. Man, those receivers are going to be a challenge. Obviously, we feel that Derek is a phenomenal player. So is Christian. Christian's a great story. Christian's a great story. His family's right here from New Orleans. He competed. He was suspended. Could not play. They fought to get the suspension. He came to practice every day. The suspension was let go, and he could play. And what a great story! Now he's playing right there from Roma High School, right here in New Orleans. So great story, Christian. Outstanding player.
We're going to go all the way over to our right.
Brett Martelli, Associated Press. Ed, could you reflect on Michael Bennett's decision to come back
specifically knowing that he may never play another game for LSU unless you made it this far. And I would also welcome Coach Sweeney's comments on any player's decision to do something like that.
First of all, for players playing throughout the year, regardless. It's your team, you play for your football team, one heartbeat. That's my opinion. In my opinion on it. I know there's special circumstances where players feel that they'll opt out to go to the NFL. And again, that's their personal decision. With me personally, I think I'm a team man, saving your team. Michael did that. Michael had a chance to go out early last year. He wanted to come back. He wanted to finish his career at LSU. He had a bump in the road. He paid his penalty, and he came back. So it tells you a lot about his character, tells you a lot about his grit and who he is.
I didn't hear the question. What did you say again?
Student athletes bypassing goals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did I grew up in college football. I've been in college football since 1988. And I know there's a different world, and everybody makes their own decisions. That means somebody's right or wrong. But I agree. Me personally, this team, finish.
Back over here in the center.
Coach O, I don't remember when you started to block out the noise mantra, but you've had some personal hurdles and obstacles to overcome in your life. I've heard you reference your faith, Kelly's faith, getting you through those. Is that something that you kind of always had about you? Or did the block out the noise mantra leak into your personal life?
No, I think that, in the beginning of my career, I could block out the negative notes. And there was a lot of negative noise. I couldn't let it affect me. And no, I would. And I knew the team would listen to it and stuff like that, but it was about blocking out the noise. And then early in my career at LSU, we faced some adversity. Some strong adversity. And it was time to block out the noise. And we could see through that adversity, it made us stronger. And I do believe the loss to Troy was a turning point in our program. It helped us realize what we had to get done, what we had to do as coaching staff, as players. We could never let our hands down. We'll always have our hands up and ready to prepare for every game. I think that, so now the noise is good. And look, they're going to be on that Twitter machine. I know they will. You can't stop them. You know what I'm saying? But we don't talk about individual awards. We don't talk about anything except the task at hand, and we'll keep everything team. And I think that helps us out.
Take our last question from the back on our left.
Coach O. Ed Daniels, WGNO New Orleans. I wonder, over the last few weeks or few months, if you have reflected on when you were at Vanderbilt High School in your sabbatical, watching your son practice, and then all of a sudden, you're here right now. I don't know what that's.
Well, now that you mentioned it, I haven't really focused in on the game plan. And the monumental task we have tomorrow night, and giving everything to the football team. But you know what? It was a good time. I didn't get the job at USC. I realize now it's for a reason, was to come home. I got to spend a whole year. I'd never seen my kids play. I went to every practice, every game, cooked a lot of food in the backyard, had a blast. And then very fortunate that Coach Miles hired me. I wanted to come back to Louisiana. I wanted to be at LSU. And Coach Miles hired me for that. I'm forever grateful.
Okay, we will now move into our photography section. If you guys could stand on either side of the trophy. Give us 1 minute to get the tables slid out. As again, a reminder, if we could keep our still photographers on the ground. We'll take a quick minute here for the ENGs in the back. Gentlemen, step on up to the trophy, please. We're going to start on the riser in the back. Our ENGs, again, our still photographers, please stay down, let them get a minute. photographers to have a minute here? Coaches, thank you very much for being here today. That concludes today's National Championship Game Coaches News Conference.
Breakfast out.